It's Josh and Derek in the morning.
What is this?
It's so stupid. Welcome.
Hey, guys.
Yeah. So, episode 123.
123.
123.
Easy as ABC.
ABC.
You and me on the
Michael
podcast.
Jackson.
We should have him as a guest.
Kids.
Oh.
I couldn't think of a better way to say that.
I mean, that flowed right into it. Yeah.
But yeah, so speaking of going to sleep for a long time and never waking up, you downloaded the Sleep Cycle app.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So tell me about it.
So I talk in my sleep a lot. I knew that I did a little. But I was surprised at how much I actually talk in my sleep.
If you don't know what the Sleep Cycle app is, it's an app you can download, and the main function of it is to actually figure out what your sleep cycles are, and then the app will wake you up within a certain time window, and it'll wake you up at the lowest part of your sleep cycle.
The lightest
part of your sleep cycle. That way you're not like jolted awake. And it like starts off soft and then works its way up too, which is
so
nice. Gosh, it's so much better. I've like gotten woken up by a regular alarm just by accident, like setting the wrong, like not going into sleep cycle and setting a regular alarm, and it is so jarring.
Yes,
it pisses me off when it wakes me up.
Like, this is what I normally use.
Yeah.
And that's like the most awful
annoying
noise in the world.
Yeah.
And this is just such a refreshing.
Yeah, it's like it's got like a little melody.
Yeah. I love it. It's so nice.
Yeah.
But it also records you sleep talking.
It does record you sleeping and sleep talking and coughing and all that stuff.
Snoring and whatever else you do.
Yes.
And I got some good ones.
So you paid for the premium version.
I did.
Yeah.
It was absolutely
well worth it.
Yes.
Yeah.
If nothing else, for the enjoyment that you're about to get. Let me turn that all the way up.
Why do you sound like a 100-year-old man? Get off the lawn.
I'm going to do it one more time.
Oh my gosh.
And then I have one other one too.
What in the world?
I don't know what I was saying.
What in the world?
But that app is awesome. If you guys don't have it, please get
I
it.
thought that my sleep talking was good. Mine are more like night terrors.
Yeah, yours are more understandable.
Well, yeah.
Than the
Because I'm fighting for my life.
We need to work that into our
understandable.
intro somehow.
That?
Yeah.
We can try it. We can try.
Oh, man.
But yeah, if you don't have Sleep Cycle, we're not paid by Sleep Cycle, even though we should be.
We could be
at this point.
I'm open to that.
Yeah. Our politics probably don't align. Just because they're a tech. Basically, the only thing I'm basing that on is they're a tech company.
Yeah.
And we're not.
But our politics don't align, and we.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So we'll still take their money.
Yeah, but one side of the
aisle
will be
okay with that, and one won't.
Yeah.
That's why Jeremy's razors exists.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah.
And they're good razors too. I have one.
Yeah. Did you? Speaking of that flows into. Did you see who was on Tucker Carlson the other night?
Kanye
West.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, it was I've seen clips of it. I haven't seen the whole interview, but apparently there's like a bunch of backlash against Kanye right now. And one of the articles that I saw, and like I take all this stuff with a grain of salt because like it's one side amping up the other side.
Yeah.
And so there was an article that Louder with Crowder put out yesterday or today that was like, Bank of America is ceasing operations with Kanye West. Like Kanye can't bank there anymore. Which
because he went on Tucker Carlson.
We don't know. Like it's a very, one thing happens and then everybody jumps on it. They're like, oh, it's because he's speaking out now. And it's like, he might be laundering money. We don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really interesting. He had a necklace on with the ultrasound of a baby.
Yeah.
And they were asking him about that. He was like, why are you wearing that? And he was like, because I believe that like it's still a life and like that it's important and it needs to be protected. And like it was kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, he's been like hinting that he's a conservative for a while.
Yeah. Well, he wore a MAGA hat and met with Trump.
Right.
And
and so did Lil Wayne, by the way.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne met with Trump. I don't think he wore a MAGA hat, but yeah, that's cool. I've also heard Lil Wayne say that people are all like, not supporting the police, and he's like, absolutely not. Like, I support the police. Like a police officer saved my life.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I remember. I can't remember if that was him or I've heard the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was him or somebody else that was like, I don't remember. Gosh, there's a lot of people that are all like, yeah, I support the police because like, why not?
Right.
Like they help us out a lot. And I mean,
yeah. But firefighters though now.
Firefighters are the kings. The kings. Speaking of kings. Are we going into masculinity now? No, I was doing the thing at the top.
Okay. So
speaking of kings,
the king of country music. I got a new shirt today.
Which is not really you.
It's if you know me, it is.
Okay.
And if you
might have to back it up some.
So if you're watching it on YouTube, you can see it. But it's a camo T-shirt with orange on it that says
Blaze Orange.
Oh yeah, Blaze Orange.
Blaze Orange.
That says we can skin a buck and run a trot line. Country boy can survive. It's a Hank Williams Jr. shirt, and I love it. So the way I got that, a girl that I used to work with at Toyota, shout out Brandy if you're not going to listen to this, but shout out anyway. Anyway, she is now dating Hank Williams Jr. and they are releasing these shirts as like a friends exclusive kind of thing. Like you can only get it through her or I guess.
What
Hank.
brand shirt is it?
Code 5.
Okay, yeah, I've seen them.
So I don't know. I just got it, but
yeah.
I think it's awesome, super cool, and I was pumped about it.
Yeah.
So I've been listening to since I ordered one.
I've been listening
to some Hank Jr. a lot, and it's bringing back some memories.
Hey,
it's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hank's good. And does she live in Tuscaloosa still?
She does. He does not. But she does, and they're yeah.
She does, but he doesn't.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
He lives. I don't know where he lives.
So, like, does he come to Tuscaloosa a lot then?
Either that or she goes to wherever he lives a lot.
I mean, I would imagine he would have to come here some. Like, can you imagine just like being in a restaurant and like looking over and be like,
"It's Hank Jr."
It's Hank Jr.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
because he probably doesn't like. He probably dresses like he dresses on stage everywhere, and so it'd be like you're gonna see him and he's gonna look like Hank Williams Jr.
I've seen Facebook pictures that she posts of them together, and he just dresses like a normal dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Does he dress nice? That like, is it like? Does it look like it would be my uncle, or does it look like?
I think it looks like it'd be your uncle.
Okay.
Like
if he's still like more slim fitter t-shirts and fitting t-shirts and stuff like that, or is he like a 1999 Bush Light shirt and
no, he's not that
ragged jeans and
so like that's
okay, yeah. That's not the character Hank Williams Jr. then.
Right.
Yeah, that's like a normal.
He doesn't dress like that, yeah.
Yeah. That's like a he's a retired at the beach kind of outfit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like white linen shirt. Yeah. See, if I saw him sitting across from me,
I wouldn't even know.
I wouldn't know either. Yeah.
He's not wearing all black and
yeah. I've probably talked to him.
Oh, absolutely.
Not even known it.
He probably you could have.
Yeah.
So
maybe he'll leave me a bunch of money one day. We had like a very good conversation or something.
Maybe.
Like the country song.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Well, speaking of, since he's the man, you know what I mean? Speaking of being the man.
Uh-huh.
So I want to talk about masculinity.
Okay.
And it's something that
you're looking for.
You got to make
it.
Yeah. I mean, I want to become a better man.
I'm just kidding.
I know. But No, I've been doing a lot of thinking, a lot of soul searching lately, and I feel like you hear about this toxic masculinity, and I got to thinking about it, like God created men to be leaders in their homes, and so, and I feel like there's a huge there's a gap in that right now. Like I feel like in general, especially as Christians, like we're not, I feel like the majority of men would agree with me. Like we're not the leaders in our home that we're called to be. And what?
I'm getting nervous.
Well, but I mean, and that's good though. Like I want to start a conversation more broadly about it. Like, first off, what does it look like to be a man, to be a Christian man, to be a Christian husband and father? How do you lead your family well?
Yeah.
Because especially for me, like I grew up without a dad, and so I didn't have that male influence in my life.
Yeah.
And so it's like, what do I do here?
Yeah.
And I think that also there's another, like you have the whole feminist movement, which is like empowering women, which is great.
Yeah.
But like, I think a lot of that is going too far to where now women are almost forced to take on a leadership role in the home that they weren't really intended to have.
Yeah.
And I think it's definitely a partnership. Like one is not over the other, but I don't know. I just feel like there's a big, I feel like as men, we're missing the mark on that.
Yeah.
And I feel like society is pushing us that way. Like they're pushing us to where you're not like, because if you think about it, back in the 90s, TV that we grew up watching, shows like Fresh Prince, where you had what was his name?
Carlton.
No, Carlton's dad. Anyway,
I don't remember.
Anyway,
Phil.
Yeah, Uncle Phil.
Yeah.
So you had Uncle Phil, who was an attorney, a prominent businessman, had great character, great, led his family well.
Tim Allen.
Okay, so he's kind of
he was a manly man though. Like
And then you had like Family Matters, The Cosby Show, like all of the sitcoms, all the popular shows from the 90s had fathers in the homes.
Yeah.
Who were not idiots.
Yeah.
And then if you fast forward to today, like the 2000s, 2010 and later probably, and look at the TV shows that are popular now. You got Family Guy. You got Peter Griffin, who's an idiot.
Oh my God.
Was that a Tim Allen impression?
Oh my gosh, I cramped up so bad. Oh.
Are you going to survive?
I'll get there, yeah.
Do I need to call a medic?
No. Oh my gosh, that hurts so bad. Oh, you can keep going.
Okay. So today's TV shows, you've got Family Guy with Peter Griffin, who's an idiot, an immoral idiot, drunk. Yeah. You've got Homer Simpson, who's essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
You've got American Dad, who is, a masculine guy, but like he's also not, like he's kind of an idiot. And then you've got South Park with all their dads that are either not in the show at all, so like they're absent, or they're again idiots.
Yeah.
And so like we don't have any popular TV shows that are portraying a strong father figure in the home like we did in the 90s. And I think that you're seeing that combined with also a society who, or really a government who incentivizes women who are on lower income. So if you get government assistance like welfare, food stamps, things like that, a lot of those programs will incentivize women to not get married and have as many kids as you can.
Yeah.
And so you're literally incentivizing people financially. Like you're saying, hey, I'll pay you more money if you don't get married.
Yeah. It's not intentionally
I don't
set up for that. But
I
get what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But that's the outcome.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's like,
because people are going to try and game the system as much as they can.
Yeah, exactly.
If there's a system.
So I don't know. That's kind of where I've been thinking, and it's like I've started doing some kind of looking at myself, like what do I need to do? To become the man that I'm supposed to be. And I obviously don't have all the answers, but that's a journey that I'm starting. That I want to go on, and I want to say, okay, like we talked about several weeks ago about the Intentional Father book.
I just started that the other day.
It's a phenomenal book, and we should go through it together with our boys.
Yeah.
Because it talks about how you can get a group of guys together that have similarly aged kids.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great.
Absolutely.
But like, instead of just being a present father where you're there at everything, being an intentional father where you're like, hey, what do I want my kid to turn out like? And what practical steps do I need to take to make sure? Because if your kid, if you tell your kid to do something or not to do something, the impact that's going to have versus the impact of them seeing how you act. Yeah. Like your kids will become you. Yeah. And so if you don't like who you are, you don't want your kids to become like you are. Yeah. Then change it. Yeah. And that's kind of where I've been. Like, I mean, no, I'm not a terrible guy, but like I've got a lot of things that I want to work on to get better.
Yeah.
So
I think we all do. I mean, this is not me. It's not playing devil's advocate, but it's I just want to hear response back from this is you do hear that a lot. Like you hear, men should be more this or they should be more that, or like, we should be better leaders in our household. What does that look like being a leader in your house? Like what are the goals that are set or like the qualifications?
So the first one that comes to mind is, which is a little bit different for our family because my wife works at our church, but like you being the one that gets the family up in the morning and says, all right, guys, we're going to church. We're going to go to the 9:45 service. Everybody be ready to go. You take your family to church. Like, don't let your wife be the one that drives that. Mm-hmm. That also looks like, hey, we're going to sit down and go through our bills and I would like to do it together. And then, hey, how can we be generous? It's like you be the one to lead those things. Gotcha. Now, if your wife says, hey, I want to take this part of it, cool. Absolutely. Like it's a partnership for sure. But like you being the one that leads that, I don't know. I mean, I could probably keep going with other examples, but that's kind of the main.
I mean, that's, expounding on those things are going to help the people in the correct. Cause I mean, I agree. Like we should be more of leaders and we should be more manly and stuff like that. But you hear that all the time. And then it's like, okay, that's the surface level stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, tell me like what exactly you mean by it. Cause I'm all for it, but like practically.
Like also like, hey family, we're going to sit at the dinner table and, at least one night a week or however it works for your schedule. Like we're going to sit at a dinner table. We're not going to have any phones around us or TVs or any kind of screens. We're just going to sit there and talk. Yeah. And we're going to talk about, sometimes we'll talk about funny things. Sometimes we'll talk about serious things, but like, we're going to talk through that. It could also look like, hey, I'm going to read a Bible story to everybody before we go to bed. Mm-hmm. I'm going to pray with everybody before we go to bed. Hey, everybody's about to go out for the day, go to school and work. Hey, y'all come on, let's pray together. Mm-hmm. But you being the one to initiate that rather than your spouse, your wife. I don't know. That's what that looks like to me. Yeah. And I have not been great at that. And I want to get better at it. So I don't know. Something I've been thinking about.
I agree. And I want to get better at that stuff too. And that was one of the reasons I got really excited whenever you were talking about the Intentional Father book. I was like, man, that seems like it's really up my alley of like where I'm wanting to be. So if you want to like be accountable to each other 100%, I'm down. Cause
for sure.
I think that's what's going to help too, is if people find accountability within their group and they start trying to be that person. Cause I read something the other day and it might've been in the Intentional Father that was talking about, God gave you your kids for a reason. Mm-hmm. And like, you need to seek and find what is the reason that he gave you those kids. Like what specific things are you trying to like, that you need to instill in them and instill in yourself and all that stuff. So, I'm definitely, I like that. And I agree. I mean, I think there is like a form of masculinity that's become toxic. Mm-hmm. Like you look at like the Andrew Tates, like I don't know if you've seen anything with him recently. He's super toxic masculinity. Like, and I've had a conversation with a guy recently who we were sitting around talking, and he asked. Me and him were sitting down talking, and he said something about like I'm having trouble with marriage stuff. And I was like, okay, like let's talk through it. He was like, I don't feel like I'm the leader. And I was like, okay, what do you mean? He was like, well, I say like what we're gonna do, and my wife fights me on it. And it's like, well, why do you think that like you're the one that's supposed to be like, it's not your decision. Like whatever the decision is, he was like, well, I'm the man, and so I make the decision. And it was like, bro, your marriage is not gonna last long if you continue to do that. Because and he started talking about how well, in the Bible, it says that the man does this and the women shouldn't speak in church and all this other stuff. And I was like, bro, that's so taken out of context.
Yeah.
Like that specific scripture that people talk about a lot, there was that was a specific region, and that letter to the church was written for a specific region of
like a specific culture, local culture.
That local culture was driven more by women than it was men. And so when the gospel finally made it to that region, they were sitting there and the women were like, well, we're the leaders. Like, obviously, like we have to preach and teach and stuff. And, but it was people that were trying to get up and preach and teach that did not know the word, didn't know anything about Christianity, but they were like, well, we're the leaders, so we should get up.
We should be the ones doing it.
And that's why specifically in the scripture, it says like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Like,
don't talk. You don't know what you're talking about. And it was just specifically talking to those women that were in that culture because they were trying to lead the movement without knowing anything about it. And they were like, you need to sit down and listen for a little while.
Yeah.
So that you can learn and then you can teach. Like, that's fine if you want to teach after that, but like you need to know first before you teach.
Sure.
But that scripture gets thrown around so much and people are like, oh, women don't need to speak in church. It's like, bro, the Bible without context is nothing. Like if you're just reading the lines on the paper, like you're going to get something out of it, but it might not be what it was intended to be perceived at. Like it was written 2,000 plus years ago, and you're not going to get the same thing that those people in that culture who were living the culture, reading the words.
Well, not just that, but you've also got the translation issue. Like there's no way that it's going to translate to a different, like there's so many words for love. There's so many, I don't know if it's Greek or Hebrew, but there's so many different words for love.
Yeah.
And so it's like, what do you, you know, I don't know, but that's kind of where my thought has been headed. Like that's kind of where my, just some things I've been thinking about kind of sort through.
Absolutely.
And I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I'm going to finish this book and then maybe find some others and we can talk about more. I've talked about it on the podcast before. Have you looked up Warrior Poet Society?
Yeah.
So John Lovell is a former Army Ranger and he started this YouTube channel, which has turned into a whole brand now, but it's called Warrior Poet Society. And they do like firearms training, but then they also do like just really good content. Like they have a Warrior Poet Society network, which is like basically a Netflix for like conservative content, sort of. And it's that a lot of it's firearm related, but not all of it. And so it's, I don't know, but it's all like family. Yeah. It's all, he's a Christian and he's a big family man, and all of his YouTube videos that he puts out, like a lot of them talk about being a leader in your home, being, a warrior poet, like a warrior that you
need to be a warrior sometimes. You need to be a poet sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
And just knowing the balance and kind of working through. So I don't know. That's where I'm at right now. And
yeah.
I think it's cool.
For sure. Speaking of
warriors.
Have you seen this stuff where China has opened police stations in the U.S. and Canada to monitor Chinese citizens?
Yeah.
How are we letting that happen?
I don't know. And I wondered, like, I didn't have time to really dig into it, but I wondered what, like, is that really happening?
Yeah. So I'll do a quick on this article. China has opened dozens of overseas police service stations around the globe to monitor its citizens living abroad, including one location in New York City and 3 in Toronto. These operations eschew official bilateral police and judicial cooperation and violate the international rule of law and may violate the territorial integrity in third countries involved in setting up parallel policing mechanism using illegal methods, reads a report by Safeguard Defenders, our human rights watchdog, released earlier this month. The report titled 110 Overseas, China Transitional Policing Gone Wild details China's extensive efforts to combat fraud by its citizens living overseas, in part by opening several police stations on 5 continents that have assisted Chinese authorities in carrying out policing operations on foreign soil. Europe is home to most of the police stations, with locations spread across the continent, places such as London, Amsterdam, Prague, Budapest, Athens, Paris, Madrid, and Frankfurt. North America also is home to 4 of the stations, 3 in Toronto, 1 in New York. In all, there are 54 such stations in 30 different countries. The report details how China attempted to combat the growing issue of fraud and telecommunication fraud by Chinese nationals living abroad, running operations that have resulted in 230,000 Chinese nationals being persuaded to return to China voluntarily. All these are in quotes. Over the last year to face criminal prosecution, not prostitution. The Chinese government has claimed that the stations provide vital services to its citizens living abroad through the report, though the report notes that many of the services are those that would be traditionally carried out by an overseas embassy. Instead, the report argues that the stations have been used to enhance China's overseas law enforcement capabilities in possible violation of international law. The report also outlines the potential human rights abuses associated with the stations, including harassment and intimidation methods such as threatening the family members of the overseas citizens. The stations have served as centers to spread Chinese government propaganda and monitor the behaviors and opinions of Chinese nationals. As these operations continue to develop and new mechanisms are set up, it is evident that countries governed by the standards set by universal human rights and the rule of law urgently need to investigate these practices to identify the local actors at work, mitigate the risks, and effectively protect the growing number of those targeted, the report concludes.
So how does that, how do they even set up a police station in the U.S.? Now, I get it, it's in New York City.
Yeah.
But how does that even happen?
I mean, I guess you could just
do it. They're probably just renting a building.
Yeah.
And doing it under the table.
We could have a police station.
But and I read another article or a headline that said GOP lawmakers were basically demanding to know what the heck.
Yeah.
How did this happen? Can we legally stop it though? Because if they're here legally, if the police officers in quotes are here legally and they're not doing anything illegal,
that's the thing is they're just persuading people to go back.
Because if they're in New York City, they can't have a gun. So if they have guns, they're not. That's where we could get them.
Yeah, but if they don't have guns and they're just walking around and they're just,
or they could just be like, "Hey, if you don't come back, we're going to kill your family."
Exactly. Yeah, we could kill your family that's still in the U.S. or still in China.
So how do they? I don't know how we work around that though.
I mean, effectively, I don't think there is a way because I
guarantee that wouldn't fly in Alabama.
Yeah, well, that's why it's in New York and
that's
not
exactly
Alabama.
Why it's in New York, and I guarantee the next one will be in California.
Dude, China has some testes on them though. Could you imagine? I couldn't if I was the head of a country and I was like, you know what? It's time. U.S. laws just aren't strengthened enough for us or strict enough for us. We're going to go set up our own police station in their country.
I mean, we have military bases in other countries.
Yeah, but it's not to monitor our citizens in those countries.
That's true. Yeah.
It's for specific reasons. Hey, this is a high conflict area.
We have the strongest military in the world.
Yeah. Or hey,
let's help you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And it's not, let's figure out a way to police our citizens overseas.
Right. That's nuts.
Dude.
But that's also goes to show you communism does not work if you're having to go into another country and drag your people back.
Well, I mean, it's working for you
just because they left. Well, it's working for the leaders. For you. Yeah. But America, if somebody's like, "Hey, I want to leave America and never come back," America's like, "See you,
cool." Yeah.
Like,
see you in a couple years.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Speaking of see you in a couple years.
Yeah.
I have stumbled across this article where let me pull it up. Essentially, okay. So it's Confederados is the name of it. That's Portuguese pronunciation is I don't even know. Is the Brazilian name for Confederate expedites, a Brazilian descendants of families who fled the southern United States during Reconstruction. They were enticed to Brazil by offers of cheap land from the emperor at the time, who hoped to gain expertise in cotton farming. It is estimated that up to 20,000 American Confederates immigrated to the Empire of Brazil from the southern United States after the American Civil War. Initially, those settled in the current state of Sao Paulo, where they founded the city of Americana, which was once part of the neighboring city of Santa Barbara de Esota. The descendants of other Confederados would later be found throughout Brazil. The center of the Confederado culture is Campo Cemetery, where most of the original Confederados from the region were buried because of their Protestant religion. They could not be buried in a Catholic cemetery, so they created their own cemetery, the first non-Catholic, non-indigenous cemetery in Brazil. The Confederado community has also established a museum of immigration to present the history of Brazilian immigration and highlight its benefits of the nation. The descendants still foster a connection with their history through the Fraternity of American Descents, a descendant organization dedicated to preserving the unique mixed culture. Confederados also have an annual festival called the Fiesta Confederada, which is used to fund the Campo Cemetery. The festival is marked by Confederate flags, traditional dress of Confederate uniforms, and hoop skirts, food with the American South with a Brazilian flair, and the dances and music popular in the American South during the antebellum period. Dude, if you find a video of this, it is the wildest looking thing on the face of the planet.
Really?
Because it's a bunch of people who look super white, who look like they live in the South, but they have Brazilian accents because they've grown up in Brazil.
But they have not, like their parents didn't marry Brazilians. So they're still white.
Yeah, for sure. But, and so the empire the emperor at the time wanted these people's knowledge of cotton farming, and so a lot of them migrated down there after the war was over with, so that they could have like a place that, like, hey, like we're still living the life that we wanted to live. We're just in Brazil now.
Wow. But
it's like, dude, they are so white, but it's like, it almost sounds like they're acting as a Brazilian, like, because all of them had to learn Portuguese when they moved down there.
Yeah.
Because that's the language.
And I think that's a lot harder to learn than like Spanish.
Yeah. I think, I could be wrong, but I think at one point I read something that said like they refused to learn Portuguese. Because, they're Confederates.
Right.
Like, it's not like they're known to be like the most like...
This is America.
Yeah.
We speak English.
There's Americana down here, dadgummit, in Brazil. We speak English around here. But like, I don't know. I don't know if they still speak, or if they still don't speak Portuguese. But they're still influenced by the people that are around them.
Yeah, so they have like accents.
So they have accents. They have Brazilian accents.
But they're English speaking.
So white. And they're English speaking.
That's awesome.
It's wild.
That's crazy.
It's wild. I didn't know about it until this week, and I thought, man, that's pretty freaking cool.
Huh. That's crazy.
Yeah. But if you got some time, go check it out.
I will absolutely do that.
There was a book published, and it's called The Last Confederate. in the Amazon, which chronicles the sagas of migration and life in the new homeland. The Confederates and their descendants became notable in the business and political life of the region. But yeah, and they've found some more like throughout, like not just in this one region. Like there's a bunch of them. Like you would just be like walking through Brazil, and then it's like friggin' trailer park or something.
That's crazy.
I don't know if it's an actual trailer park, but
a bunch of Germans after World War II moved to South America too.
Yeah. Have you? I still haven't seen it, but Tim Kennedy did a show with the History Channel called Hunting Hitler. Mm-hmm. And that was like one of the regions that they really like keyed in on, was that South America region. Yeah. And I just got done reading Tim Kennedy's book, and it was pretty interesting. And I didn't know what Hunting Hitler was ever about, but like they actually go to the places and do dives and stuff. They actually found they were the first to find a submarine from back then, and they were like, well, maybe it was just sunk.
Yeah,
just like, all right, well, we're just going to sink this thing and then we're gone. And then they opened it up. And when they looked in, they're like, nope,
there's bodies.
There's bodies. Wow. And so then it became a war memorial. And so they couldn't enter after that. But like, that book was pretty cool. But yeah, I'll probably go through and read this book, The Last Confederate in the Amazon. Cause it's really interesting that like you have this pocket that like, not that like I would feel any kindred spirits with them or connection, but just like it's just an interesting look at history.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I didn't know anything about it until this week, and like,
I love Civil War history.
Yeah. Speaking of the Civil War, have you seen the Happy Meals for Adults?
Speaking of the Civil War, that's a great transition there.
I know.
I have, but so basically, it's like you get adult food.
Yeah.
With a.
You can either get a Big Mac, a large fry, and a large drink, or a 10-piece nugget, a large fry, and a large drink, and it comes in a little Happy Meal box or an adult Happy Meal box, and it's called the Cactus Plant Flea Market box, which is the weirdest. I thought it was a typo whenever I was driving past McDonald's the first time. I was like, somebody's messing with their sign. But you also get a toy.
Is it like a toy from when we were kids?
No, it's these weird little figurines that they've got.
Oh, the double eye ones? I saw that.
Yeah.
Why would you want that?
I have no idea.
That just looks creepy.
They've got one for Grimace, the Hamburglar, Birdie, and Cactus Buddy toys that come with a Happy Meal. But apparently, McDonald's workers are fed up with it. Like they're like, and I have been to 3 McDonald's in the past week, unfortunately.
To look for this?
No, not specifically. Just going to eat. Because that's
you eat McDonald's 3 times a week?
This week I have. That's not a normal thing. This week I have. Because it's fast and it's quick and it's cheap and I can get in and get out and I'm done and I've got something that'll hold me over.
I'm judging you hard.
That's fine.
I mean, I'm not
the only one keeping them in business, so I'm not worried about it.
I eat McDonald's like probably once every 3 to 4 weeks.
Well, it's very convenient in the places that I've been.
Sure.
It's like within a mile or two of because we were at the beach this whole past weekend at a wedding. But it's very convenient. But every time that I've been, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get a 10-piece nugget anyway. Mm-hmm. Like, let's just see what this thing is.
Yeah.
So when I roll up and I say, hey, can I get the McNugget?
Happy Meal.
Cactus Plant Flea Market, whatever. I'm immediately met with like a very negative response. Like, we're out.
Huh.
And it's like, okay, well, can I still get like a 10-piece nugget? And they're like, yeah. But it's like every time I talk about it, and I was like, man, that's really weird. But then I saw this article, and this article says, McDonald's has done it again. The chain has placed its deep-fried finger on the pulse of America with an adult version of a nostalgic favorite, leading to a bum rush of its drive-through lanes. But not all is happy, according to the workers of the fast food behemoth, who says it's all become a bit too much. On October 3rd, McDonald's released its new grown-up version of a Happy Meal called Cactus Plant Flea Market Box. The Golden Arches reimagined the Happy Meal experience through a collaboration with fashion and lifestyle label Cactus Plant Flea Market. A favorite hip-hop greats and high-wattage celebrities like Rihanna. The box became available inside restaurants and drive-thrus by delivery or McDonald's app, with customers able to pick up a Big Mac or a 10-piece McNugget, complete with one of 4 toys. After its fanfare of its release, chaos apparently has ensued due to nostalgia. This is a quote. "I can see the stress among my coworkers," said one anonymous McDonald's employee. In the same report, employees have said that the promotion has caused 2 to 3 times more orders for Big Mac meals and increased nugget orders, sending the whole ecosystem of a McDonald's kitchen into disarray. This seemed to be backed up by McDonald's workers who have taken to social media channels to share just how erroneous these orders have become. One such post on Reddit outlines a single order where a customer ordered 10 separate adult Happy Meals and 1 order of 6 extra nuggets for good measure. Other employees have been posting on TikTok to show how busy their drive-thru has become, or to even beg people to stop ordering adult Happy Meals. "Bro, please don't order those adult McDonald's Happy Meals. I'm begging," pleaded Pimp Life Waleezy, who claims to be a McDonald's worker.
So these people are complaining because a marketing campaign has worked.
Yeah.
And their business is bringing in more revenue.
Yeah.
Boo-hoo.
Dude, I'm just telling you what the article says.
Like,
in 2022, for many workers who are facing long lines, sold out toys, ornery customers, and more, they may just need to find solace in the fact that it is a limited time offer and will be over soon, is the end of that article.
Like, I get it that, okay, it's more work for you.
Yeah.
And it's more stressful work because you're having to deal with people who are upset that they don't get their
toy.
Yeah. But
hey,
okay.
I mean, yeah.
Like, yeah, that sucks. Sure.
But does it, like, okay. You're coming to work. You're not coming to hang out.
Right.
Like, so work.
Exactly.
Like,
it'll make the time go faster.
Yeah, it really will. Yeah. If you're busy, it's definitely going to make the time go faster.
Yes.
I think it's ridiculous a little bit to begin with that there's an adult Happy Meal now.
I think that's ridiculous too.
Granted, I'm still going to try and get one just to like experience it and see what it's like, but I'm not going to go crazy if I don't get one.
I wonder.
Also, they're bringing back the Halloween pails. Like
Really?
that you can get a Happy Meal in. That'll be cool. Probably get Jason one of those.
So you can buy these toys on eBay.
Mm.
There's a 4-pack.
So they got all 4
for $90.
Might be worth trying to get them all.
There's several of them on here. I want to see if we can go sold. Filter by sold. No way. A 2-pack. So the purple thing and the girl one.
Yeah.
Sold
Grimace
for
and Birdie.
$31. That was an auction.
Dude, I might try and get some just to sell them at auction. Man.
Like the Hamburglar one sold for $30.
Man,
this is ridiculous.
Sounds like a good plan.
Just go buy them all.
Yeah,
I guarantee you that's what the dude that bought 10 of them did.
Probably so. And then he was like, "Let me get 6 nuggets though. I've got 60. Let me get 6 more."
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I agree. When people complain about their job being their job,
yeah,
it's kind of frustrating. It's like, okay, cool. If you got a line around the block, you still just got to do it one order at a time.
Right.
Like, you can't do 50.
You got to be there the same amount of time either way.
Yeah. Oh, we sold out. Cool. That's fine. Just tell me you sold out, and then I'll probably order something else.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
People,
man. People. Yeah. Do you want to do the would you rather to end it out?
Yeah.
Or do you got?
Is that the link in there?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
So
this is a would you rather quiz. It's play a simple game of would you rather, and we'll tell you whether you'd be a surfer or a biker in a teen beach movie. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah. So just in case we answer differently,
okay,
I'm gonna have mine pulled up too.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Would you rather have the ability to fly or have super speed? That's not even a question for me.
What is it?
Fly. Are you kidding me?
See, here's the thing. I would tend to agree with that before I went skydiving, and now I don't want any part of flying.
Well, but if you can fly, you went falling.
I
This
know.
is flying. That's different.
But like in the off chance that somebody throws like a kryptonite dart at you and it hits you and then you fall, it's just like, man, I'm so scared. I'm so scared of being up that high now.
Jason kicks a ball up on the roof, and you either have to get your ladder out and get up there and get it down, then or you can just, don't worry, I got it.
But if I had super speed, I could just run up the wall too.
I don't think it would work that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
The Flash can do that. But I still think. Well, and so here's the thing about flying too. Is it a walking speed?
That's fair.
Like, are we doing walking speed, or is it like I can go real fast? Like I can go as fast as a plane, or is it walking speed? Because it feels like that would have to be something that you're like, you probably have to work. Like it's not just like I can do it now and then I can go forever.
Yeah.
Unless it's magic.
If it's magic, but I mean, it's got to be magic because this is all.
Well, but are superpowers magic?
Not really. I don't know.
So what are you picking?
I'm going fly.
You're going fly?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna have to go. There's so many unknowns with flying. Like, what speed are we flying? You pick one, and then I'll answer.
You're flying at the rate that you can sprint now.
Do I have to take breaks still?
No, it's unlimited.
Super speed.
Okay. Would you rather ice cream or cake?
Ice cream. 100%.
All day.
100%. Ice cream, cake?
I'm not a big sweets guy when it comes to that. I'd much rather have like a sorbet that's fruit.
Yeah. I will say I do like cake, but I have to have ice cream. Yeah. Like I can enjoy ice cream separately, but I very rarely can just enjoy it like, man, this is so good.
I also don't like a real icing heavy cake.
Yeah. Whoever made our wedding cake, that was the best cake I've ever had in my life.
Really?
I can't remember who it was.
Sure.
Two Daughters Bakery or something. I don't know.
Nice. Would you rather warm weather or cold weather?
Oh, I like warm weather.
I like them both, but if I had to do, so what are we talking about temperature? So let's say an average temperature of this year round. Warm weather is
85.
85. What is cold weather? 55?
55, yeah.
Because in Alabama, that's fairly cold. It does get colder, but
yeah.
I'm going 55 all day.
Really?
100%.
See, my reasoning for liking warmer weather is you get to swim. Like everything that I think about with warm weather, I'm like, man, I get to go out on the water.
I just hate being hot.
But 85 is not that hot.
That's hot.
That's not hot.
That's hot. If you got to be outside all day,
that's not hot.
That's hot.
When are you ever outside all day?
At baseball tournaments, mostly on the weekends. I'm outside a lot on the weekends.
That wasn't a dig at you.
Yeah,
it was like, because I'm not outside all day either.
Would you rather be able to read people's minds, telepathy, or be able to control people's minds, telekinesis? Read their minds or control their minds?
So here's where I get hung up on this. At what point do you know that you're controlling somebody's mind, or if they actually like you? They want to be around you. That's like, if I can read their mind, I know one way or the other what they're feeling and thinking. But with telekinesis, it's like, how do they like me, or am I just controlling them to like me at this point?
Can you turn this feature off?
I mean, at some point you've got to think like maybe my initial, like if you met your wife and you're like, I'm going to make her like me.
Yeah.
And then you were like, you like me. And then from there on out, it was like, does she actually like being with me, or is she just like, is it still that initial?
Yeah.
I'd rather read people's minds.
I would rather control people's minds.
There you go.
Yeah. Would you rather be covered in scales or be covered in fur?
Fur.
Absolutely. Scales would be awful.
Yeah, that sounds horrible. And all I think of is snakes.
Like, we're already kind of covered in fur anyway. A really thin fur.
I could do fur.
I could do fur. Would you rather lose the ability to read or lose the ability to speak?
Probably read.
Absolutely.
I still want to talk to people
Because there's audiobooks. There's Siri can read
YouTube
text
it.
messages to you. Yeah. Would you rather
dogs.
dogs or cats? Yeah, absolutely dogs. That's not even a question. Pineapple on pizza or no way, that's ridiculous.
No way, that's ridiculous.
You're evil. Pineapple is incredible. The pizza crust that you brought to my house one time, hand pan pizza,
Oh yeah,
the black box,
yeah.
has changed my life.
Dude, it's so good, isn't it?
And if you put ham and or pepperoni and pineapple on it, my goodness.
Dude, have y'all had Tuscany yet?
No, I want to go get it.
Oh my gosh, dude.
We need to.
It's ridiculously good. It blows any pizza joint.
Are they open regularly now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll make it a point to do
Yeah.
that. All right. Would you rather chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla.
Yeah. Red or blue?
Blue.
Yeah, I guess. Would you rather day or night?
Day.
Yeah. Would you rather always be an hour early or always be 20 minutes late?
It'd be nice to be an hour early.
Hour early. Absolutely. I hate being late.
I'll try it for a change.
I hate being late.
My wife doesn't apparently have a problem with being late.
Mine just reset.
It reset. Mine says, would you rather date someone really hot who you don't really love or date someone kind of ugly who has a great personality? Man.
All right. I'm almost there. All right. Would you rather date someone really hot who you don't really love or date someone kind of ugly who has a great personality? Absolutely kind of ugly who has a great personality. 100%.
I'm dating somebody who's really hot.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it just says kind of ugly. So it's like,
kind of ugly is still ugly.
But are we talking like 10 being the hottest person on earth, 1 being the ugliest person on earth? Kind of ugly, I would think would be like
a 4.
A 4 or 5. But like, think about it. Someone who is like god awful annoying.
It didn't say that. It says date someone who's really hot who you don't really love. And
we're talking date too. We're not talking marry.
Yeah,
right, let's change it to marry though.
Huh?
Marry.
Still though.
Okay.
Marry someone who's really hot who you don't really love. It's not saying they're annoying. It's not saying they're horrible human beings. It's just like you just don't really love them.
Would you rather know the history of everything you touch or be able to talk to animals?
Ooh, talk to animals.
Absolutely. That sounds awesome.
Last one.
Would you rather go back in time 3 minutes every time you sneeze or go forward in time 3 minutes every time you yawn?
I do both of those things a lot.
Go back and forward in time?
Yeah. Sneeze and yawn. I think I'd rather go back in time 3 minutes.
Yep.
Because
you're not, I don't want to lose time.
Yeah.
Time's the most valuable resource we have.
I would be a surfer.
I would too. High five.
Surfer
Awesome.
bros. Mine says, surfer, on my way, feeling fine, see my reflection in my surfboard shine. You're a feel good, go with the flow surfer like Tanner, Seacat, and Giggles. I don't know who those people are.
I don't either.
It says Image Disney. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a Disney teen movie, something. Yeah. Cool. I'd be a surfer too. Awesome.
Surfer bros.
Surfer bros. All right. Well, guys, thanks for listening. And yeah, y'all have a great week.
Yeah. Adios.
See you.